Hey guys, what is up and welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by. So in today's video, I wanted to share flip throughs of the February pages in my Hobonichi weeks and then my Hobonichi HON or HON, which is basically a cousin that just has like this hard cover Liberty fabric. So I'm going to start with my weeks, and the purpose of the weeks is where like I keep my organized planning. I do have my personal ring planner, and that's what I'm using like as like on the go planning and like just scribbling in dates and things of that nature. It's really like a placeholder, but this is the weeks is where like I'm organizing information and almost using this like to like archive things that are happening in life. So it's pretty simple. I love the art on this planner. I just have it in a clear cover. I have a couple of weeks leather covers, but I just opted for simplicity this year, and I just purchased the clear cover on Amazon so that I could showcase this like really pretty like line art. It's absolutely beautiful. The front cover is still the same. This was like my attempt at collage journaling, and it was funny when I was trying to put this together. I didn't have any like tape runners or glue dots or anything like that. So I used just regular Scotch tape. I also keep this card in here, and this is what I use like for a straight edge. And then I just thought this bookmark was cute. I don't know where it's from, but I thought it was cute. Another page I just kind of like messily decorated, and that is my word of the year. I don't really use this year to glance page. It's just white noise in my planner. So this yearly overview here is where I'm tracking a few things that I kind of want to see like on a year's view. One of those is that, so I use these two zig dot color dot markers. The brown is the color Fawn, and this gray color one is named Platinum. I feel like it's possible I got these off of Amazon, I think. So if you see the brown dot, that just means that I completed a book. If you see the gray dot, that means that I've completed like intentional movement for that day. So I did like a workout. And then I have H for headaches and M for migraines. And I'm a little bit behind. No, I'm not. I had a migraine yesterday, which was Wednesday. So I'm going to just write that in. Okay. Yep. And then when we get to my monthlies they're pretty simple. I tried to pre-decorate a few ahead of time and also like to pre-fill in my trackers. So my monthlies are basically like where I'm writing like appointments, activities, like high level things in our life. And it's constantly being updated, like birthdays, paydays, that type of thing. And it just gives me like a month-wide like snapshot. I'm not a big monthly planner. I prefer weeklies, but again, I think monthlies are a great place to like hold dates. So that way, again, I can look and be like, oh, as you guys know, Thursdays are busy, and none of those are, oh, yeah, that's February. I'm thinking March for some reason. March is on my brain. But yeah, so this is where I'm putting stuff. And I got these stickers from Via Creations. I liked how minimal they were. She sent these to me last year, and I'm finally using them. So I went ahead and put all the stickers that I had of these in the monthlies. And then some of them I went ahead and pre-decorated. So I just used like the washi I had on hand, and I used deco stickers. And then at the bottom here, I'm using this to track my sleep and then more headaches and migraines. And again, gives me a month view of things. And then I like to see how well or not well I'm sleeping. I am pretty proud though, because I had several days that had 8 and 7 hour days. Those are usually weekends. And then you'll see like some dips. I've noticed trends basically. You'll see some dips where I only get 5 hours of sleep. And those are usually like Sunday going into Monday. So I like having a sleep tracker basically to see like how well I am or am not sleeping. And then if we go to my weekly pages, if you guys watch my plan with me, you kind of know like my setup here. It's been the same all year, and I really enjoy this structure. So I draw a line down the middle, and I use the left-hand side to list appointments and events, kids' activities, just day-specific events and appointments, basically. I use the right-hand column to basically note day specific to-dos or things that I want to get to accomplish on that day. Usually that has to do with finances or like chores around the house, basically. And then I draw in these boxes here, and this is where I'm planning my workouts. My goal last year was to really get back into like a normal exercise routine. I haven't had one since 2019. COVID kind of messed me up with exercise. And so I was very consistent last year for the most part, and I wanted to carry that over into this year. So planning my workouts is important to me. And my goal is 3 to 4 workouts per week of intentional movement. So that's typically like weights and some type of like cardiovascular movement. I typically use this side to just write to-dos, and basically my to-dos have become like a brain dump. And I just list out, like when things pop in my head, I'll list out what I want to get done as throughout the entire week. And then I'll add it here and hope I get to those tasks. If I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. And then I have my habit tracker here. And this is what I use to note things like I want to do most days, if not every day. And this is a great way to keep up with if I'm doing them, but also to trigger me to remember to do those things. So these are important habits that support my goals. And then I just use washi and deco and all that stuff. I have a good time with this. I've been really into stamping lately. So these are all of my February pages going into March. And then as far as the back pages go, I don't use this a ton. I don't know if I'm loving this as a daily for me, but I did use it some as a daily. I did post in this freebie. I cut it down to fit, and then I just pasted in this freebie from Sterling Ink through some washi down. And then on days where I want an actual to-do list, or I need to break down steps, then that's when I will put stuff down. And then when a new month comes, I just paste in another calendar. As far as my back pages, I don't really use these back pages. A lot of times I use them for if I want to see how a Tombow or a marker looks in the paper. So they end up almost becoming scratch paper. I do have a weight log back here. I have a movie log. I don't watch a lot of TV. I read more than I watch television. And then I have a series log that there's a few series that I'm wanting to start watching. I just have to get around to it. I have a to watch. I think this is the same as it was last month. I have some coworkers that are always talking about crazy stuff that they watch. And so I wanted to keep a list of that. And then I have a wish list. So my wish list is things that I see that I really want, but I don't want to impulsively buy them. So they kind of end up on this list. And if I want it in if 30 days have passed and if I still want it, then I'll determine if I'm going to buy it or not. However, I did impulsively buy a fountain pen from Amazon that was $10, and I bought a bunch of ink samples from Goulet because they were having a ink sample sale the last week. And so yeah, that wish list is going really good right now. But that's kind of how I'm using it. I love the weeks. I think it's a great planner. And I like how portable it is, but I also like that you can kind of make it your own. It's blank enough of a canvas that you can kind of set it up however you need it to work for you. And I think that's great. Okay, so now we have my cousin, my Hobonichi HON. I was introduced, or I started, not introduced, but I started using Hobonichi products in 2022. And I had a Hobonichi cousin, and I absolutely loved it. And I was so creative in it. And it was just fun to write in. And I didn't have one in 2023. So I was really glad when I picked one up for this year. So the HON or the cousin, whatever you want to call it, is really, I don't plan in this. So let me be clear. It's a memory keeper. It's a place I journal. It's a place that I can just be creative and use all my fountain pens that I have. I can doodle, I can collage, I can do all kinds of stuff. So I don't plan in this thing. It's really I use it as a life book, in all honesty. They call the Hobonichi products a life book. This is where like I'm writing about my life basically. So I do have quite a few stickers. I think I said in my last video, I had like all these stickers and I was like, why am I holding on to this stuff? So I was just pasting, having a good old time. I'm going to bring this up just a little bit. So I had a really good time just kind of putting these stickers down. Some are like from Five Below. Some are like from Amazon, or like my kids gave them to me. Some I've gotten in orders and things of that nature. I added that one in March. That was a sticker that Google Pen sent with my order. I thought it was cute. And I added this one in February, which is, it reminded me of Gilmore Girls. I don't use this here at a glance. I don't really have a use for it. So initially, I was using this, I don't know, what do you call this? It's like a tracker. People use this for like different things, and I think it's really cool how people use this in different ways. The versatility of it's amazing. But I started in January using this as like a mood log where I was like checking off all my moods. But then I was like, as we went into February, I was like, well, crap. Like, I feel like I don't want to track that in here because I feel like my journaling pages or my weekly pages in here kind of capture my mood for that day. And so I was like, I don't know, it felt redundant, and I didn't see how it was helpful to me. So for this month, I am trying to use it as I did these types of workouts. So the 4 workouts I added was strength, treadmill, walk outside, and yoga. I think those are like the basic workouts I do. And so there's also room, like if I wanted to add it. I kind of dabbled with the idea of like writing in my steps, but I haven't jumped into that. So that's how I'm going to try it for March. We'll see how it goes. And then if that doesn't work, I don't know what I'm going to use these pages for. If you guys have any suggestions, because again, I have like a tracker in my weeks that I use. So if you guys have any suggestions, please share, but I don't know if this is going to work. And then my monthly pages are where I track my workouts. And again, my goal is 3 to 4 times per week. I want to do intentional movement, intentional workouts. And so I did fairly well for the month of February. The end of January going into February was kind of like a rough week for me. And so only 1 workout occurred that week. But for the most part, I did good. I got 14 workouts in February, which is almost 50% of the days I had intentional movement. So I'm pretty happy with that. And so basically all I do is I highlight the box on the day I work out, and then I just specify the workout, like time. And then if it's like a distance measured workout, like walking or treadmill, then I put the distance. So I like that. And I guess I should say like a lot of these things I used to track in my personal rings, and I don't do that anymore because I like that, like these books, these Hobonichis, like they naturally archive because they're book bound. So I don't have to worry about like storing inserts or figuring out a system of how I'm going to store my inserts that are written in, which is, I like it. Okay, so my weekly spreads are just where I'm noting stuff we do throughout the day. It's really a place for me. Like I find it so relaxing at nighttime. I usually fill these in at night. I find it so relaxing at nighttime to sit down and just like put stickers down, play, all that stuff. I try to pre-decorate the week with like my variety of stickers that I have and just note kind of like what we did. This is when I started really getting into collaging. And I use like various stickers. I also use like sticky notes just to kind of give it some visual interest. I think it's fun. Like I think it's just a great time to write stuff. Some weeks are more filled out than others. But it's a good time, and it gives me an opportunity to pick out, to use my stickers. So, and it's just a mixture. But I like it. It's a great memory spread. Sometimes I try to doodle. Like I got a new phone. There was one day I got a new phone. Yeah, that's my phone that I doodled. I was like, it just looks like a rectangle. And I even wrote horrible drawing, but it's pretty funny. Oh, hold on. Let me pull my ephemera out of here to protect some privacy. So then I have my daily pages, and I'm happy to say that all of my daily pages are filled out, which is awesome. I think I might add some more photos here. I'm not sure, or maybe write a blurb about the month. I'm kind of undecided at the moment, so that's why it's blank. But I created this like just as a memories page. And then, you know, like my daughter was in a beauty pageant or beauty walk for her school. So she looked so pretty. She looked absolutely beautiful. And then my youngest daughter, Sophie, she auditioned for Beauty and the Beast Junior. She wasn't cast. 150 kids auditioned, and they were only casting 60. And she's new to like drama and acting and all that stuff. But I was so proud of her because like she prepared a monologue, she prepared a song, and then she learned to dance the day of the audition. And we were there pretty late that night, but I was really proud of her because I don't know that I could have done that. It took a lot of guts. So I just kept her number. She was number 53 because they did auditions for 2 nights. But she did really, really good. And she's going to keep auditioning. And she's taking like acting and improv class and all that stuff. And then I just kind of like, sometimes I write about my day. I got into like collaging. I use my fountain pens in here. Like on this day, I took my daughter to freshman orientation. I'm about to have a high schooler. Blows my mind. You know, this day was like a self-care day. I'm really loving stamping at the moment. You know, I just kind of write about my day, like what we did. You know, this was a boring and uneventful day. It was lazy. You know, lazy yet productive Sunday. I had like a couple weekends where I didn't do anything. You know, busy day. I think this day was a little rough, like work-wise, so I didn't feel like writing. I just collaged. And I like these little snarky stickers that I got from like a Tim Holtz pack at Hobby Lobby. I think they're funny. Another busy day, emotional roller coaster for me because of the migraines, and I was on like medication that was weird, and I was a hot mess. And then this Friday I stamped in an affirmation and just kind of played and had a good time. And I love that like there's space to get creative. There are no rules. Like I'm not putting to-do lists. I'm not doing any of that stuff. Like I'm using my stuff. I'm having a good time and making things pretty. And I'm having fun. I've been really into collaging. I found like, when I cleaned through stickers, I was like, oh, like I had all these stickers. I had no idea I had. I think this was like a bit of a rough day. This day I read this quote and it really spoke to me. So I wanted to put it in here. It says, I don't want to be strong. I don't want to have to keep saying I survived. I don't want to be the person who is admired for making it through hellfire because I don't want to have to walk through it at all. I want rest and peace. I want a life I can live, not one I have to survive. And that was a quote by J.D. Lynn. And I was like, wow. Like, you know, like when I work as a school-based, I'm a social worker, but I work as a school-based therapist. And I was like, I bet there's so many kids, you know, so many people who have like experienced trauma in their lives that probably can totally relate to that. And that was a quote that really spoke to me. This was like a Monday. I was like, I did a shitty job stamping. Sure did. Noted some stuff like my husband interviewed for a job. This was the day Malaya forgot her key and the power was out on our road. And so she could not text me. We don't have the best cell service around here. And I was like freaking out because I was at the gym. And like I rushed home and she was like with our neighbor friend. Our neighbor is like one of her friends. And I was like, and I kept telling her, I was like, my body just has to catch up with my mind because I was shaking. I was so nervous. Anyway, yes, I'm that mom. Like I have a 13-year-old child and I want to make sure she's safe. And so I was like, I know my neighbors, my daughter's friend, like her dad probably thought I was nuts that day, but whatever. So I ended up getting her and we went to the gym together, but it was a good time. This was the day that I thought my phone died and then I got a new phone and then all of a sudden it started working again. It's pretty weird because it was like what they call the black screen of death or whatever. Sophie was really nervous about her auditions. And she was scared to sing by herself. And she sang and it was so beautiful. And then she was doing Valentine's for her class and she made me one. So I tipped it in. I thought it was cute. And Malaya was crushing on another boy. So I wrote that in there. I wanted to kind of write a note of gratitude. Like my husband he's been my rock in a lot of ways through the migraine situation that I'm dealing with. Sometimes I'm not handling things as well as I would like to. And he has just been supportive and patient and I'm grateful to him. So anyway, Sometimes I had a lot of rough days in February, I'm not gonna lie. So this was a day that I backfilled. I loved the collaging. These cute stickers were from Pen Paper and Plans, and I was like, it looks so good. But this was a very, very busy day. I backfilled this on a Friday. But this was the day, like, we had to pick up Malaya's beauty walk dress. Sophie had her audition. We were there till 9:30. And afterwards, we hit up the McDonald's drive-thru and got some chicken nuggets. And Malaya did her round off back 3. And she's doing good. And she's been preparing for cheer tryouts. This was the monologue that Sophie memorized and did. She did such a good job. And then I skipped journaling on Friday because I knew I wanted to do a photo spread of Malaya's beauty walk. This is her last one in middle school. And she looked absolutely gorgeous. We had a great time, like, getting ready when she was getting her hair and makeup done. We were cutting up, laughing, having a good old time. There's our good family photo. That's Auntie Debbie. There are my parents, and then there's my brother. So we had fun. It was great supporting her, and I was super proud of her. And I was telling someone, I was like, you know, she didn't do it in 5th grade, but she did it 6th, 7th, 8th. And I remember her 6th grade, like, her walking out there, like, how nervous and how, like, you could tell she was just terrified. And then, like, each year you've seen her confidence, and her confidence was so high, and it was just, yeah, like, it was like she was strutting her stuff. And I was like, I'm not a big fan of beauty pageants, but I will always support my kids. So she likes to do it. She likes to get her hair and makeup done and all that good stuff. Thankfully, this was like a 3-day weekend. I was exhausted. That Saturday was a long day. I went all day long. I was out of my Nurtec, and I was writing about cussing, about stuff. Yep. And then this was when we found out that Sophie didn't get cast. She was disappointed, but she handled the news well. I think kids have to be able to experience disappointment as well as, you know, good things. And she handled it well. She was disappointed. She cried a little bit. But I made sure she knew, like, how proud I was of her and how she's still new at this. And if she will get cast, she will keep developing her craft, and she will, you know, get there. So I had a day off of work. I had a migraine that whole freaking day. It was good times. This is when I got mad at our HVAC people. Not gonna get into it. And Chewy started spraying because the stray cat socks that we had. So yeah, we had to take care of some stuff. It was not good. And then I made this a 4-day weekend, actually. This was the day Malaya got her braces removed. Like, her teeth look so perfect and pretty. She has to wear her retainers for a month straight, and then she just has to wear them at night after that. But they did the thing where they, like, spread her lips or her mouth open and took pictures of her teeth, and they were, like, super perfect. And I was like, now I need a financial break for the next 3 months. This day I didn't feel like writing. Wednesdays can sometimes be rough work day wise. So I just drew. Me and Sophie were having fun. On this day, I took Sophie to her acting and improv class. She has a break between her vocal lessons and her acting and improv class. It's like a 30-minute break. So that's when we sit in the car and we eat. And we do goofy stuff and all that stuff. So I created this, like, in Canva. And I print my photos on copy paper. Like, I size them in Canva and then print them on copy paper. And they do just fine, and they don't take up, you know, they don't, like, chunk it up or make it hard to write on the next page. So I printed these out, and then Sophie decorated it how she wanted to. Another Friday. This was a short week. I went to an autism conference. Another migraine. I had to take a Maxalt, and hung out with the family. We had a good time. This was a good Saturday. We had fun, visited my in-laws. And then a low-key Sunday. Jesse figured out what was wrong with the hatch on my van. Oh my gosh, I have to get, like, a new, like, computer module thing. Those things are expensive, so I'm just ready for spring break. The weekend was a blur. This was like a fun Monday. I had a very productive day. This is another day where I just was bitching about being tired of the headaches and the migraines because it's just nonstop. And then I wanted to note that I'm proud of my girls. I love them. Jesse got his official job offer. And again, I'm so ready for spring break. I need a break. I think, like, this week, I, like, wrote it, like, a million times. Malaya had a migraine on this day, so I ended up having to take a sick day with her. I had a migraine as well. But I was able to like get my March budget done and all that stuff. I felt so bad for her. I also wrote about dubbing March the Sarah J. Maas month. So I'm reading the ACOTAR series or the ACOTAR series. I'm on the second one, A Court of Wings and Ruin, question mark. I think that's it. So yeah. I'm going to read the ACOTAR series and then the Crescent City series. Hopefully all in the month of March. We'll see. And then I backfilled this day. It was the last official day of February. It's been a tough month. And I did note that. February was rough. I was a roller coaster. But my daughters I'm so proud of them. It's just amazing. I went to gymnastics with them. They were rocking it and just killing it. Like, they're so talented in like the tumbling and all the things that they can do. So I wanted to write about that. But I did get a little frustrated that day because my girls used up all the damn hot water and I had to take a cold shower, which freaking sucked. And I never have showered that fast in my life. So it's like, I did note that. And I was like, how do two tiny little people use up all the freaking hot water in the house? So, and again, I'm so ready for spring break. Like, I think I write that every day until spring break happens. But yeah, so that was lengthy, but that's, again, I love having this book because I can look back and remember like these little things, right? Like, they may not be like big things that like stand out, but like I can read about them and like it triggers that memory, which I think is amazing and fun. So that's why I love having this book. But anyway, guys, that is a flip of my 2 Hobonichi planners. Oh my gosh, this video is like almost 30 minutes long. Are you surprised? But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please do not forget to give me a thumbs up. Okay, sorry, that was corny. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you guys in my next video, and I hope you have a fabulous day. Bye, friends.